And then this is a reminder to put your microphones on, and we're live.
Call the June 22nd, 2026 Planning Commission meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
John Marshall. Here. Dan Rohaley. Here. Chad Jeffries. Here. Joe Sanders.
Here.
Mike Conquest. Here. Laura Sauerman. Here. Rich.
Here. All members are present this evening. Next item of business is approval of minutes. Minutes were in your packet. Corrections, comments, deletions.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Second. Motion and a second to approve the meetings as presented. Any further discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Dan Rohaley.
Yes.
Chad Jeffries.
Yes.
Joe Sanders.
Yes.
Mike Conquest.
Yes.
Laura Sauerman.
Yes.
Rich Day.
Yes.
John Marshall.
Yes. Okay, we have one item of old business tonight, 26-20, Urban Home Rentals LLC petition owner. Requested for a site development at an eight unit townhome at 1810 East South Street.
Good evening, dear Chairman, members of the board. My name is Konstantin Popnikovsky, representing Urban Homes Rentals, address 11148 Virginia Street. So, first of all, we are turning before you at this meeting for requesting site approval for the construction of 8-unit townhomes proposed to be located at 1810 East South Street. We believe the proposal here fully adheres to the requirements of the R3 district and demonstrate an attractive, stable, and orderly residential environment. Each unit we are proposing is considerably larger and as attractive than similar townhomes units constructed or under construction in various parts of the city in recent years. With respect, with Plan Commission input at previous meetings, we understand your desire for the city to be 100% owner-occupied community. Because we cannot precisely forecast economic conditions in such time each unit would enter the market, we cannot commit to the immediate sale of each unit. What we can commit to, as demonstrated in the supplemental exhibits provided, is to immediately survey such units after foundations are in place for the purpose of marketing units for sale. Establish such alteration to the existing HOA documents covering the Golden subdivision as needed should units be sold. Continue, as with any investor, to allow the market to dictate whether sale is our best interest. Should the unit or units be sold, also record the proper ingress egress easement illustrated on the supplemental exhibits. With that, we respectfully request your approval of our proposed development given we have received. Thank you.
Thank you. Josh?
Petitioner is requesting site development to allow 8-unit townhomes in an R3 residential zone. Property is located at 1810 East South Street. Parcel is just to the east of Madison Street and sits directly north of the Pennock subdivision. It's B3 business to the east, R3 residential to the north, and R2 residential to the west and south. Project received special use approval in 2025 to allow townhomes in an R3 residential zone. Approved, the structure would be an 8-unit townhome, in which the structure, materials, and impact are consistent with the development directly to the west. The only concern had by staff was garbage pickup along South Street. The engineering firm has worked it out that garbage pickup will be on site and not in public right away, alleviating the concern of possible garbage and debris on a busy street. Plans have been reviewed by engineering, fire, planning, public works, and utilities, and has received approval from all departments, including tree board. Planning department recommends approval of petition 2620.
Okay, thank you. Bring the board for questions or comments. Go ahead, Mike.
On your general notes, point number 2, you make a statement, that you're going to, all work shall conform to the latest edition Porter County building codes. We're in Lake County, and this is Crown Point. So you need to straighten that out, okay?
Any other questions or comments, Mr. Royo?
I have I got the minutes of the board of directors establishing a board for Gold Nest Edition POA. I have the bylaws of how the POA is gonna run. Is there a declaration that was going to be recorded as well? I didn't get one. There was one in the packet. Josh, was there a declaration?
No, I've given you everything that was provided to me.
So you don't have a declaration that governs the property? Because this just governs how the HOA is supposed to run. But we don't have a document subjecting this property to the POA or HOA. So I don't know if we just don't have one, or if it was inadvertently not submitted, or,
We don't have.
well, we probably need that. Josh asked me, explain to me how we got into this. So, you know, this was originally commercial. It was rezoned to R3 in 2025.
It was originally residential, and
Oh.
it was rezoned to commercial. And then it was rezoned again back to residential.
From commercial back to R3.
Yes.
And at that time, we should have asked for, at that time, some type of plan on the lots, the townhomes, how they were all going to be laid out, and how this development was going to function, right? And we didn't do that. So here we are today with 8 apartments. And I don't know if there's anything else we can do, but go through this, because we didn't ask for. Shame on us. So far as streetlights are the topic of conversation these days by me. Are there lights going to be installed along here? Along 113?
So there's one at the intersection there, but otherwise all the lighting is interior.
So there won't be any streetlights on 113. Just, oh, we screwed this up that bad. No further questions, but we still need that declaration to at least subject this property to the HOA. So I don't know where that is.
We can bring it to, if. Make one.
Okay, anybody else? Any other, Mr. Jeffers?
So when we workshopped this, right, with the previous owner, there were some things that we talked about that were, you know, for us to go, yes, let's move ahead with this project, some things that were discussed that we wanted accomplished on that property. I brought it up the last time you guys were here. The barn, the shed, the pole barn, whatever you want to call it, that was supposed to be completely redone to match the structure
Yes.
of what these properties are. Like I'd said, with the intent of splitting that into 8 units so that the people that, you know, have got whatever they need to put in their garage, they can actually have storage and be able to pull their cars into their garage. I don't see anything reflecting that in what we have here.
So originally, plan is also at some point to divide that barn, like you said, for storage. And we're gonna keep one section for small portion for our equipment for maintaining the property over there. That's the plan for the barn.
But we are going to clad the building to match.
To match, yeah, everything's gonna match.
I mean, it's
Like
got fascia
existing
that's off of
units
it
over
now,
there.
right? It needs redone to match that. property.
Like the duplexes there right now, it's gonna match, it's gonna look even.
Okay, and is that gonna be done before we start construction on the townhomes or after we start construction on the
Yeah,
town?
we can start. We already asked, because right now there's no utilities connected to the building and there's not much we can do, but we asked for just connecting the utilities to it, and if everything is okay, we can start, with the renovation inside and outside.
And then the second thing I have, which I've said numerous times since we first workshopped this, is, you basically have a kind of a horseshoe styled entrance, right, with your
Yes.
two curb cuts. It's right where you got your big mound of black dirt sitting right now, right, from when they demoed the buildings. You said we got tree board approval. I don't see anything about what the landscape plan looks like, but that is where I had spoke many times that, I think that it would have kind of a resort feel if we had mounted that material up, right? And we had big plantings on it and, blue spruces and different things that are maintained, landscaped, mulch, stone, whatever. I always kind of talk about Princeton Townhomes on Broadway. They have a big berm that sort of, shields it from the road, and it's always the landscape is well maintained. Is that something that we looked at tree board? And that might be a Josh question.
I don't remember seeing a big berm in the front of that.
I mean, it doesn't, by berming, right? You put a 4 foot, 5 foot tall berm there, and that makes everything mowable and landscapable and then plantings. But I mean, are we just doing ground covering? Are we doing blue spruce? Like, what do we got?
It was really nothing outside of the ordinary. It wasn't any major screening that would screen it from the road. It was just ground covering and some trees. It wasn't anything to kind of add more to a privacy factor.
I think we should have brought that up at tree board, in my opinion. I mean, it's been a topic of discussion every time this project gets brought up.
Do we have elevations for this? Of what this thing's gonna look like? Am I goofed up here? Oh, in
You
front
got
of
some on the third page, Dan.
that, okay. So. Oh, I got you, sorry.
While Dan's looking,
I found it, Mike.
I've driven by there a number of times. A few weeks ago, there was an excavator out front. I understand that Winter Excavating is no longer in business, is that correct?
Yeah, there's no activities on that site at the moment.
Okay, well, because, I mean, over the weekend, there was a pickup truck sitting in front of the building, the sign's
Yeah,
still on it. There's all sorts of building material
Yeah.
hidden behind the mound of dirt.
Yeah.
And it really takes on a complexion of running a business in a residential area.
Yes.
Can you speak to that? Are we gonna get this
Sure.
cleaned up?
Yes, definitely. Definitely, that's gonna be gone even this weekend.
And we had talked about some concerns, and I know this is not necessarily the time, but we had talked about some concerns at the last meeting about rental. Have you guys, have you given any more thought to that?
Yeah, so
you-
we agreed. Now, they're gonna be surveyed individually for tomorrow to be able to be put on the market. But again, by the time that it's developed and they hit the market, it's gonna be probably more than a year. And depends on the market. If we have solid offers, why not? We are willing to sell those. Yeah,
And one other thing, and maybe I misunderstood last month, but it sort of seemed like you guys were gonna build it, but then you were gonna turn it over to somebody else. And I don't wanna make a deal with you guys, and then this has happened before, then the other guy comes in and says, well, that was them. You didn't make that deal with us. And
So if somebody, if they're on sale, if we have good offer, I don't see why not to accept if the offer is good. Since we're not keeping them for rental, we are putting on the market. If somebody comes with the offer, that it's good offer, solid offer, either sell them individually or as a package.
Well, I have a couple of questions. First of all, if it's tree board approved, how do we go back on that? Are we adding additional tree board stuff or?
I don't see anything, what I see here is if you're looking at the ledger, that it is 4-inch minimum topsoil, end seeding, backsplash landscaping, see the landscape plan.
So you could do an approval contingent on adding the additional berming or additional landscaping to it.
Well, the reason I'm asking is we've never done that before. We sent it to the tree board. They seem to they do seem to do a pretty decent job, but
Yeah, but, and just stated over here, tree board is advisory to the planning commission. So they're not the end all be all authority of any of the landscaping, so you guys would like that adjustment made, you're within your right.
So we probably need to see the tree board. Did they meet before us?
So landscaping, yeah, so tree board meets the beginning of every month.
See what they-
Usually we do see a landscape plan as part of the petitioner's packet, and there's nothing in here that shows that. So whatever was presented to tree board really should have come our direction as well. Usually we see it, whether they approved or not, we usually see it.
second question I got is this making a deal with this guy. This goes with the property, right? Somebody else buys this or buys the development. I mean, everything that we put in the motion tonight goes with the property. They can't come in and say, somebody else bought it, that was the other guy. We'd have total chaos in this town if that happened. So I'm trying to figure out where that come from. So just to make clear, this goes with the property. I mean, if he has a good offer, I mean, or if he has an offer that he thinks is good, then he should be allowed to. That's why he's here.
So,
You can't make a motion that he has to own it for the next 50 years.
yeah. So you, can I ask a question? Jim? So you mentioned that you would be open to selling
Yes.
one of these if the offer was right.
Yes.
Okay, say I come to you and I want to buy parcel 4A. I tell you it's $1 million, I'll give you tomorrow. How do we describe this legally? There's no legal descriptions, there's no units or anything that you can tie it to. So it'd be a meets and bounds description then of the unit. And we don't have a declaration that establishes all the easements for ingress, egress, and all the duties, responsibilities, and obligations of the association to put all that in. So what am I getting? Do I just get that island of real estate that's going to be deeded to me and that's it?
You can't say it's presentation, they were gonna individually. They were gonna individually deed every unit. He said that in his.
Deed it to the new buyer?
No, he's gonna make 8 deeds on the property. so
Okay,
he can sell.
So you got 8 different owners. How do those owners get in and out of here? What are they
Well,
governed by?
we need a declaration, but I mean, it's no different than selling the townhomes that are right next to it. Everyone's deeded on its own. And you
Yeah,
can buy one,
yeah,
or you can buy
yeah.
6, or you can buy the whole place.
Right. Right, and there'll be
This-
meets and bounds descriptions,
Right.
but there's nothing to support any of the other supportive information that you need to get in and out of there.
Well, yeah, he needs a cross traffic.
You gotta have the declaration.
Yeah.
You just gotta.
I can add, I'm Doug Reddick from DVG. We did the site planning and planning for this project. I do have an exhibit of how we could prepare those legal descriptions, if I can hand it out real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
Sure. You got the,
I don't see where we're having trouble here, because we built townhomes before, and they're all deeded individually. I don't
We had
know
a
why this-
declaration that
Yeah,
established.
So we'll get a declaration, but I mean, it's,
Maybe we don't need them at this point, John, but typically we get color renderings,
Sure.
explanation of what the building material is. In fact, I think our ordinance says we are supposed to see what the building material is. We're supposed to have a sample that we can hold in our hands and pass to each other. Maybe we don't need that right now, but those are things that holes that need to be filled.
Yes, like I mentioned earlier, they're gonna be exactly same style as the duplexes over there. I can see the material, where they get the previous owner, where they get them from, and I can present you exactly the same material.
And that's wonderful, but at some point, before everything is finally approved, we need to see it on paper.
Yes, we do. Like walking into another campus thing. Where they show you
I
one
mean,
thing and something else gets
We've
built.
got certain city codes and state stuff that we have to adhere to as well, so we're not giving you a hard time, okay?
he's presented a render. I mean, I think the ordinance says quality building material, right? Is that what it says? It doesn't say we pick color and stuff, that I saw. What was that?
Yeah, you acknowledge, we did turn in a rendering of what it's gonna look like.
Okay.
It's because this is not commercial, which I think you're right, you do have that right to ask for what's gonna happen in a commercial setting. But residential is pretty much by ordinance. So, and then regarding this exhibit, obviously the red or each individual unit, this is gonna be a platted lot, so it's just be part of the lot. And then the green area indicates an ingress egress easement for access to the public road.
When's the plat coming?
So we're just asking for,
When is the plat coming?
when we were just here for site plan today. I'm not totally involved with the project, but we have the plat prepared, I believe, James?
And we prepare it after.
That's right. We have, this is already a platted lot. So.
Yeah, a huge lot.
Right, one big lot. Yeah, after the building is built typically, we go out and survey the foundation, we measure it up, and then we determine exactly where the building sits on the lot. And that's when we would typically write these legal descriptions. So we would get a new drawing before the first unit is sold. We would do a new drawing with all the exhibits of each legal description for each unit, as well as the. But this is very, very much like Princeton Townhomes. I was involved with that one years ago. It's almost identical. They have private roads in there, and everybody owns their little parcel, and has
And they
access
have a
to the.
declaration. Everything's set forth.
I don't see the petitioner trying to do anything except that he might have forgotten not write his declaration, and I'm sure that we've seen a million of them here at the planning commission, so I'm sure that this gentleman probably wrote 10 of them, so. Other than that declaration, which will be standard on access and easement and all that stuff, I don't see what we're, I don't, you know, I don't see what the problem is.
They've got to come before us again anyway.
Right.
And so some of these things could be addressed as contingent upon, could they not?
But what if they don't come back? They just
What are they?
build and that's it.
Well, they can't, we're not gonna write them a building.
Why not?
Why not?
We approve site development.
We're not gonna write them a building.
Is that gonna be part of the motion?
Sure.
That these become platted?
I don't know, I'm confused what the problem is. I'm missing it somehow. This isn't anything different than we've done.
That's different.
Well,
I mean, I can, you know, that's our job to be concerned and make sure it's right, but I don't know what is going on with this particular condition.
Well, if I may, and I want to clarify this too. So we have the bylaws for the POA, which would set it up to be individual owners, which we asked for. So that's a good thing. But this doesn't have any real teeth. We don't have a declarations page, that describes that. Out of complete transparency, I'd like it to be noted, these are public documents, but I'd like to be noted that Alex Kutnowski, one of our city attorneys, is a member of this board, and his expertise is real estate. I'm a little surprised that he didn't put together a declarations page or suggest you need one. But I just,
Yeah, well, I think the proper way to treat this then is defer this, have them get a declaration and come back with the file complete. Reapply, give it to Josh, make sure it's got everything in it that we need as a plan commission to approve it. I don't think they're, like, instead of trying to, I don't want to approve something contingent. I want to approve it with all the information involved.
and at site development level, we're usually doing all the details here.
Okay.
I don't know what they come back for after site development. Where am I confused on that? Site development, usually we're doing, where's the garbage, where's the,
Okay.
And John, we did this with that hotel. We weren't crazy about the exterior. Told them they had to bring,
Yeah, but that's a
material in for
That's
us
a
to see
It's a
and
commercial project, this is residential.
this is under R3.
I just want to be sure that what's represented to us is what's going to be built. So if we could get some colorized elevations, a declaration, and get this thing, a commitment that this thing will get platted, I think we'll be fine. But we still got some work to do.
And Josh, if we can get copies of the tree, the
And tree.
landscape plan.
And the landscape plan looked at.
And once again, I don't act like I'm a landscape architect, right? But we've spoke about this every time that we talk about this project, right? That it would be, kind of hide it back there, not that it needs to be hidden, sort of make it retreat, like Princeton is, it feels like it's set back and the traffic noise is blocked and stuff. I would have thought that would be somewhat what was presented to tree board. But like I said, what I see in the ledger is 4 inches minimum of topsoil with seeding, landscape, see the landscape plan, which we don't see yet.
Okay, so include the landscape plan. I mean, we've never gone back on the tree board and that I know of and changed anything, have we? That I'm aware of.
yeah, we
What?
did. YMCA.
A couple times we requested more.
Okay.
I think over off of 9 Mile Providence, we came back because those berms and stuff were matching what we originally.
Well, it could be wrong.
Which
It's
Mr.
possible.
Marshall, and I don't wanna pass things on contingency, who follows up on the contingencies all the time? Be complete.
Do you guys accept that deferment and come back in a month and have all this stuff in the file? Have Josh, try to get it into Josh as soon as you can so that he can review it and get it to us and get this to the next step?
Let's make sure we give them a list here. So I've been taking notes, colorized elevation, ordinance,
Sure.
which I thought we did, a declaration, the homeowners obligations, easements, all those.
Landscape plan.
Landscape plan.
And can we make sure that the outbuilding is part of the colorized elevation or, the colorized drawings?
Let's see the plan on the outbuilding. If you're gonna split it into 8 storage units and use it to park your lawnmower, then draw it up and show it to us so that we can
Yeah,
basically make you commit to something. All right? All right, would that be anything else any member would like to add?
So I think you need to make a motion to defer it. And
So moved.
I'll
Subject to all of the requirements that Joe just read.
I'll second.
Well, if you don't want to get deferred again, just do the list.
Just for clarification, Mr. Rohit, you said to plat it, right? Because it's already platted as one lot.
Right.
So it is platted. We don't typically replat them. We simply write individual legal descriptions, which is exactly what we did. for Princeton
That's
Hall.
fine, that's fine.
So-
But the declaration should have something in there with regard to percentage of leased units then.
Understood.
That's the vehicle, that's the mechanism
Right.
that we have to, so this doesn't become 8 rented units.
Right.
Well, we'll work with you. We're not gonna say you can't rent any of them, but there's gotta be something in there with regard to, there's not 8 rented units in there. Otherwise, it's just 8 apartments.
Okay, we have a motion for deferment. We have a second. I believe the petitioner is aware of what needs to happen. Any further discussion?
We will provide him with a clear list so that he.
Well, our attorney has taken a list, and I believe Josh is probably taking notes over there, so the clear thing is get this done as soon as you can and get it to Josh, so that if there is an issue, we can get it fixed before the next meeting. And it doesn't sound like it's big items here to me. So. With that being said, call a roll.
Dan Haley.
Yes.
Chad Jeffers.
Yes.
Joe Sanders.
Yes.
Mike Conquest.
Yes.
Laura Sauerman.
Yes.
Rich Day.
Yes.
John Moore.
Yes. All right, thank you. All right, next item is new business. 26-29, Jenna Wheeler, petitioner owner, requests a workshop for a duplex R3 residential at 109 John Street. The point of a workshop is for you to, we're not gonna make a motion tonight. You're gonna present your plan and we're gonna give you feedback on how the board is feeling. And with that, then you can proceed with your petition in the future. All right, so
Yes.
tell us what you'd like to do.
Hello, so I was here in January of 2025.
So sorry, we just need to see your name and address for the record.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Jenna Wheeler. My address is 6809 West 101st Avenue, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. And I'm talking about the properties at 101 North John Street and 111 North John Street, both Crown Point. 109 and 111, sorry, North John Street. So we were here in January of 2025 to talk about the Caring Villa project, which was going to be a residential assisted living facility. And after coming to that meeting in January, we had decided, we all had talked about it, about downsizing the building. But after we ran numbers and looked at the property and everything, it just wasn't going to be feasible with numbers compared to Two Hearts Home in Crown Point. So we decided to kind of go with a different project, and we did tear down the houses that were there because they were deplorable. So it does look a lot better. So they are 2 empty lots now. But what we want to do is came up with a plan to have 2 single-family attached duplexes, one on each property of 109 and 111, which will give 4 total units. So in the site plan, in the red area is lot 43, which will look exactly like lot 41, which gives us the 60 feet of each frontage on John Street. And in that particular area, there are a lot of different properties that are kind of like this. So we thought it would be a good fit to do this there instead.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
All right, we'll bring it to the board for questions or comments. Josh, do you have any comments on this?
No, sir, just, I know, she's looking to move forward with the duplexes, and as we were looking over it, staff with the petitioner, we're looking at other duplexes in the area as well, so this is not inconsistent with others in the area. And then the image that I actually included for the board is from a parcel of theirs out in, I believe it was Chesterton, where they built the exact same product. So
Okay.
these, yeah, yes, that. So that is actually from the finished version they have in another community.
Okay, thank you. All right, who would like to start? Rich Day, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it seems to me like it fits with the surrounding area and what we've got going on there. I like the I like the building style itself, the duplex, the way it's laid out, the fact that it's gonna have, parking in the back as well. I don't see why I push back on something like this. And there's parking in the back, right?
Yeah, and we were gonna propose the garages too in the back, so we just wanna make sure that that would be everything acceptable on that as well.
And you said 4 units, it's not 2 units, it's 4. Each address 109 as well as 111 would have a duplex. The site plan that Oh, you're I see looking what at you're is only 109. Okay. As a preliminary, to make sure that the side yard requirements and the front building setbacks all fit within the city's parameters. Okay. Yeah.
Joe?
You looking to live here or sell these or?
I'm looking to rent them out, yes.
They'd be owner occupied, in other words, should be living in one of them and renting so that maintain the integrity of the properties.
So these aren't gonna be businesses or anything, these are just single family
Correct.
residences. I think they look great, I think you did a
Thank you.
great job.
Thank
If you're
you.
gonna build that there, that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you for the colorized drawing. I don't have that, I don't have that much imagination, so sorry. But they look really good.
Thank you.
What about, was there something about the John Street that did you get something back from the fire chief or something about the narrowness of John Street?
Last
They
time
had
I
some issue or something.
Last time I spoke to the police department about John Street, it was, as the petitioner stated, in regards to the assisted living facility proposal, but otherwise, no, I've not.
It was the alleyway. The alleyway was too thin, narrow.
The setback requirements we didn't meet in order to access for the fire department.
But for residential use, it's.
Oh, so we're back to residential
Yes.
side, so.
Yeah.
We don't need stormwater pond or any other junk. Okay, now it looks good.
Thank you.
I think you're on the right track.
Thank you.
Go forth and build duplexes.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Jenna, I actually drove that area twice this weekend and I like it. And I had misunderstood and I thought, wait a minute, she's got a couple of lots, you're doing 2
Correct.
and they both fit. And yes, there's a very passable alley behind. I drove that. And the other thing I guess I want to say is, you know, growing up here on East South Street, John Street was kind of always kind of a go-between sort of area. And when you drive down John Street from that end all the way to the north end, you'll see a few places that have been upgraded.
Definitely.
And it looks so nice.
Yeah.
And so thank you for doing this.
Oh,
I
thank you.
think that's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, the 109 property was definitely a struggle.
Well, the one concern is get with Luke at some time. He's the engineer, but when you took down the 2 other houses, it looks like for sure 109 and 111
Mhm.
are of higher elevation than 119,
Yes.
or I guess 115, I'm sorry,
Yeah, north
115.
side, right? Yeah.
I got GIS right
Yeah.
here. And I couldn't tell from the houses that back had, you know, that are on Clark, that the back of their property would be by 109 because they've got the big fence there. But just make sure that any stormwater is acceptable and not flooding out the person at 115 and that.
Okay.
Found that out this weekend.
Right.
All right. Anything else, Mike?
No,
Chad?
No, I mean, I think it fits the character of the area. I see you've got some renderings, right, kind of what it's gonna look like. I don't know if this is gonna be the exact stone, the exact color of siding. But I'm assuming that we're gonna, kind of our anti-monotony, we're not gonna put two exactly next to each other, right? We're gonna change up the color scheme a little bit on them.
We can,
Oh, yeah.
we can.
We'll put together a color combination stone that and get it passed on.
Mhm.
And possibly a rendering also to go with it.
So that we do that in all of our single family developments, right? With the anti-monotony. And I know these are duplexes and it's an upgrade to what was there, but I think it makes sense that if we're gonna do that, that they, you know, not just two exact same
Sure.
products, right?
I think it will look better differently. Yep.
That's all I've got.
Thank
All right,
you.
Laura?
There's no parking allowed on John Street, is there? As far as on the street, it's so thin. I mean, it's definitely the minimum of the public street. So I love that you got garages in the back for people to actually pull in. I just think we're gonna need to enforce,
We'll have to look to verify whether or not it's permitted.
okay,
So I lived there. I bought this property when I was 19, right out of high school. And I used it as a rental property for a long time. And then I bought the lot next to it because the house was so deplorable. And she just couldn't live there. And it was raccoons living in there. I mean, it was really
oh,
bad.
that's good.
So she had health issues. So I ended up, she knew I wanted to do the Caring Villa project. And so their parking was, we did have the driveways there, but you know, we just made sure that we were all respectful when it came to parking. So hopefully, you know, I will enforce that with my renters as well. So-
Well, that's what I love about the.
Yeah.
Hungry drives in the back and the garage in
Yeah.
the back, I just.
And everybody
I
usually
like to see
does
people
park in,
actually keep their car in the garage.
right,
Not on the streets
Yeah.
overnight. In fact, I've got some issues with
yeah,
the police department right now, letting them know about some continual overnight parking. that shouldn't be there. No, I think it looks great.
thank you,
That area needs something like this and it fits with character, so.
thank you,
Well done.
thank you,
I would agree. I think what you want to do fits with the area there. So
thank you.
I like it a lot better than, I mean, your Caring Villa thing was a good idea. It just wasn't on a big enough lot. Maybe
Nope.
find something bigger and continue with that project, but this fits this lot. So.
Thank you.
With that being said, unless anybody has anything else to say, hopefully you have a sense of how the board feels and you can move forward with this.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, next item of new business, 26-30, Crown Point Community Foundation petitioner, Crossroads YMC owner requests for a site development. Professional office building, Crown Point Community Foundation at 12410 South Court Street.
Mr. Marshall?
All right, let the record show that Rich Day has left the board. And Russ, tell us what you want to do.
Yes. so
After you
Russ-
tell us your name and address.
Of course. Russ Posen with DVG team, 1155 Trotline Road, Crumpton, Indiana. We are the site civils. I will be talking about the site and kind of give some updates of what is presented before you. But before I do, we actually have the architect here who we'll talk about the building a little more in detail. So we've got all the parties, but most important person will actually introduce herself and talk a little bit about the actual foundation to kind of really let you know what's going on.
Thank you, and thank you for your time today. I'm Mary Nielsen, president of the Crown Point Community Foundation. Address is 115 South Court Street here in Crown Point, and happy to be in front of you today about our new proposed building. So just a little bit about the foundation. As many of you know, for more than 35 years, the Crown Point Community Foundation has been a steadfast leader, creating a better future in Crown Point and South Lake County through our mission of enhancing the quality of life in the communities that we serve. We do that through our strategic philanthropy, community leadership, and lasting partnerships that the foundation has empowered local organizations, nonprofit organizations, and invested in the people and places that make our communities a great place to live. Just for an example, currently we manage over 365 permanent endowment funds Those funds generate assets that are used to award grants and scholarships. Over the lifetime of the foundation, we've granted over $21 million. And just as of the end of last year alone, the foundation awarded over 459 grants and scholarships totaling $1.6 million. So as the foundation has been growing and expanding our reach and our work that we do in the community, our impact has also been growing. Today, our team of 7 professionals work in a small space that is no longer reflective of the scope of our mission or the needs of the communities that we serve, with staff sharing limited office space and no dedicated space to even welcome our donors, host our nonprofit partners for different convenings and workshops and whatnot. We conduct a number of community meetings, things of that nature that we just no longer have the space to be able to do. So our new permanent home will actually be more than an office building. We look at this as a true community asset. It's going to help provide a welcoming gathering place for our donors, our nonprofits, civic leaders, our residents, to collaborate with them, learn and create different solutions that strengthen Southlake County and the communities that we serve. It'll help to also enhance our visibility and our accessibility and position the foundation to be able to meet the evolving needs of the community for generations to come. I also want to introduce Corey Liss, who is our chairman of the board, to see if he might have a few additional words to share just on some of the work that we do at the foundation. Corey?
Good evening. Nice to see everyone. My name is Corey Liss. I live at 7108 East 125th Avenue. I'm the chairman of the board of the foundation and just started a week or two ago. So I'm excited to get this project underway, and I'm pretty proud of I think what we've done here. I think we've all worked hard to create hopefully a nice project and a nice building for the city of Crown Point. And it's going to be very important, I think, for us moving forward. To the foundation is growing and it's going to continue to grow. And I think it's pretty exciting to have this opportunity to do so and really continue to do good for the city of Crown Point and Southlake County through the foundation. So thank you, and I appreciate your time.
Great. I'll get into a little bit of logistics, as you can see here on the site plan. So this is a 4,600 square foot building on this property, which is lot 1 of the Foundation Preserve subdivision. North is to the right, just for your bearings here. As Mary stated, they only have about 7 employees, but the parking that we're providing is 44 spaces. As you heard from her, they have their board meetings and donor meetings, so they need the extra parking on occasion, not the day-to-day, but on occasion to obviously host those folks and have plenty of ample room so that there's no issues. We have our bike racks, which is to the south of the building. We have our dumpster, which is to the southwest. It is screened by arborvitaes and landscaping, which we did get tree board approval. We have our sidewalk around the entire frontage of Court Street. As you can see in the dark, dark pigment there on Court Street, we are improving Court Street to city standards. We have a turn lane that we're adding. We have, again, curb and gutter, and then again, the sidewalk. So we are enhancing this area with up to city standards. The drainage is handled. We have our stormwater detention basin on the north there. In the red is that wetland that I spoke about when we did the rezoning and whatnot, and we're staying completely out of the wetlands. We have engineering approval from the sub-consultant, so all that is, all drainage is all handled, all utilities are all handled. If you can go to the next slide, if you don't mind. Probably things that you want to probably have a good review of is the building. We have our architect here with some actual samples. So I'll let him introduce himself, and actually I'll kind of bring some of these to show. Beautiful building that we have here, and he'll go into a little more detail of what some of this material is.
Good evening, my name is Joseph DiCenzo. I'm an architect with Chester Incorporated at 555 Eastport Center Drive in Valparaiso. And I've worked with Mary and her staff for more than a year on the design of the building. We wanted to create a nice, kind of a softer feel. This is not a corporate office building. This is something that wants to be very much integrated into the community. It wants to feel as though it's a building that doesn't stand out and draw attention to itself from the street, but it clearly has presence. that it appears dignified, well composed, has quality materials. We're proposing to use a antique look Hebron brick for the exterior. This is going to go all the way around the building. We're not substituting vinyl siding on the back or anything like that. We do have some small areas of precast, the sills, for instance, and we've actually, since this was created, we decided to go with a precast coining on the corners of the building as well, possibly to do that in bricks, but possibly to do it in the precast. That's still to be decided. I think they're leaning towards doing it all out of the brick, and the only precast elements at this point would be the window sills themselves, as well as a small water table on the pilasters that support the entrance porch roof. We do have a tower element, which is simply to give presence to the lobby. We have some high windows up there, which also the illumination from within will draw attention to the building as one is traveling up and down Court Street, and simply show that there is something going on here. But the signage is all going to be located on a monument sign that's proposed to be of the same materials out by the Court Street Drive entrance. So if there are any other questions, I'm more than happy to answer.
Okay, anything else, Russ?
Good.
All right,
Thank you.
Josh?
Petitioner is requesting site development to allow an office building in an OS1 office service zone. Property is located at 12410 South Court Street. Parcel is just to the west of the YMCA and directly north of St. Jude House. Property is surrounded by R1 residential on all sides. Approved, the structure would be a 4,600 square foot office use building and new home for the Crown Point Community Foundation. Crown Point Community Foundation received a change of zone approval for the east portion to become OS1 Office Services. The December 2025 Planning Commission, final approval through City Council. They also presented a workshop for the office use at the same Planning Commission meeting, which was viewed favorably by the commission. Project went through the planning process, final approval happening at the April 27th, 2026 Planning Commission meeting. Plans been reviewed by engineering, fire, planning, public works, and utilities, and has received approval from all departments, including tree board.
Okay, bring it to the board for any questions or comments. Dan?
I am thrilled to death. I have nothing at all. Russ gave me my.
That is on record, that is recorded by the way.
Yeah. Josh, put that in the minute.
I think that's an automatic approval.
I got my de-acceleration lane. The monument sign is behind the setback. The dumpster looks great. And there's even bike racks. I had to pull out my microscope, but I found it.
We have the big
it's in there.
sheets for you, but you know, again, this is just the way there.
I have nothing.
All right, Mike?
Well, and no, just I want to compliment you guys on the brick all the way around and
Yeah, the
from
brick looks
bottom to top. I mean, this is going to be kind of a, lack of a better word, a kind of a memorialized building, that it be here forever. So very cool.
That's really important
Very
to the CP Community Foundation for what they're trying to do.
Thank you.
Anybody else with any comment? I think since the foundation's been in business for 35 years, it sounds like they're trying to be in business for another 100. So I think they're putting up a building that can do that. So
Yeah.
I think it's a nice addition to Crown Point. You've certainly been a wonderful community member. So there's nothing else to be said. Please, Chair will entertain a motion.
Mr. President, since I got a sidewalk out of this thing, I'll make a motion to approve site development plan 26-30.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call roll.
Andrew Haywood.
Yes.
Chad Jeffries.
Yes.
Joe Sanders.
Yes.
Mike Conrad.
Yes.
Laura Sauerman.
Yes.
John Marshall.
Yes. Approved 7-0.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next item of new business, 26-32, Ron Schweitzer. Petitioner owner requests his primary plat for Schweitzer re-subdivision, 3 lots at 900 South Main Street. State your name and address for the record, please.
Doug Reddick with DVG. Our office address is 1155 Troutline Road in Crown Point. I'm representing the Sheezers who are here tonight if you have questions specifically for them. I assume you have a copy of the primary plat. What you do?
We'll have this for the record, Rich Day.
Mr. Day is back there.
And Rich Day has rejoined the Plan Commission. Make it official in the record.
So the Sheezers own 2 homes on South Main Street. We're just talking about a little bit south of Elizabeth Drive. And on the subdivision plat, the southerly lot that we're calling Lot 1 of our new subdivision, there's a home there. This is kind of confusing because there's the corners of 4 separate subdivisions that kind of come together right here on this plat. So the home that's on Lot 16, which is immediately north of this platted, of this 2-lot subdivision, they own that home. And that was platted years and years ago as Schulian's Addition. And there's a home on that lot. And then part of that subdivision, there's going to be a Schulian Court. There's plans to have a street go through between Main Street and East Street. In all 4 of these subdivisions, they all had part of this Schulian Court. 2 of the plats called it Schulian Street. But nonetheless, that street was vacated years ago. So what they're trying to do is simply take what was vacated, and there was 77 feet of street that was vacated between the 2 different plats on the west side, and there's 2 more plats to the east. So there's 77 feet there of vacated right of way. The legal minimum width for a residential lot in R1 is 80 feet. So we're almost there, and Ron had the idea of possibly building a house here. So we're re-subdividing because we're going to steal a few feet from the existing home to the south, and we're going to make it 80 feet wide. So we're adding 3 feet to the 77 to get an 80-foot lot. There's a slight complication in that there's a 34-foot wide NIPSCO easement that was dedicated in 1947. And that easement appears to be simply for an overhead wire because the power pole line is in the rear and there's a street light out in the front in the middle of this lot. So there's an overhead wire. We've been in contact with NIPSCO and we're working with them to relocate that wire instead of overhead. They'll be underground, and then they're willing, the talks with them, or they're willing to vacate or release their easement as long as that wire gets relocated, and we'll provide a new easement along the south property line there. We showed on the plat a 12-foot public utility for the purpose of relocating that wire. We also have to relocate a sanitary sewer that cuts through the lot. Again, at one time it was a street, or it's going to be a street. I don't know exactly when it was vacated, but it was a long time ago. There's even a garage built right there now on top of that old right of way, and it's also on top of the easement. I don't think a lot of people knew about the easement. We could be wrong on that. So all we're really doing is creating a lot where there is 77 feet of vacated right of way, stealing 3 feet from the neighboring house to the south, which they own, and replatting an existing lot and the alley or the street to a 2-lot residential R1 subdivision.
Okay. Josh.
Sir, petitioner is requesting primary plan approval for a 3-lot subdivision located at 900 South Main Street, south of Elizabeth Drive, and to the east of Crestview Street. Property is zoned R1 residential. Property surrounded by R1 residential on all sides. Property owner has 2 lots along South Main Street, is looking to subdivide them to create an additional lot. There's also a NIPSCO easement that would need to be vacated. The new lot would meet ordinance requirements for R1A residential lot. All notices have been properly sent out by certified mail and they have been published in newspaper. There have been no calls of support or demonstration.
Okay, bring it to the board for any questions or comments.
Yeah, I use GIS a lot, but I appreciate this. Basically, you're taking what's 2 lots right now and want to make them 3 lots.
Sort of.
Okay. Now, when you add the footage up on the 3 lots from GIS here, you get 229.25 feet.
I understand what you're saying.
And that includes the vacated area. you divide that by 3 and you don't get 80. So one of them does not work. And you're actually showing lot 16, which is the one lot. It appears that you're taking it back to a 63-foot lot sort of thing. The other question I have is, according to like the assessor's link on GIS, that house was built originally at 55, something like that. I believe in 86, they built a garage and a driveway. It looked like originally when you looked at some of the earlier aerials, there had been a road cut. And that is kind of the north end of that road cut goes on to Mr. Sheezer's property. And it looks like you're using part of that where the garage sits to be part of the new lot.
That's correct.
So it doesn't fit for R1.
So let me try to explain. We're doing a 2-lot subdivision. There's 2 homes there. The home on the north side sits on lot 16 of Schulian's addition. That home was built on a 62-foot, actually 62.78 foot wide lot. And it's grandfathered. That's an existing lot. We're not touching that lot.
Okay, but wait a minute. If you go to GIS,
I'm looking at it.
okay,
I'm with you.
but and you look at lot 16, it says Schulian's additions, lot 16, and north half of vacated Schulian Street.
Correct.
So that's all one lot.
It's a technicality. It's a lot and part of a vacated street.
Okay, it's been built on.
They own it. Well, they bought it in this condition. They've owned the houses for several years. My belief is that the street was vacated certainly after the house was built. So when a street gets vacated, it goes to the adjoining property.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
In this case, there was 2 vacations and 2 adjoining properties.
Right.
Some went to the north, some went to the south. So the vacated right of way is technically not part of lot 16. If you look at it on the GIS, it shows as one parcel because they've been combined for tax purposes.
But the legal description and the acreage of the property includes all of that.
It does. So,
and I'm sure he's been paying taxes on all of that.
And that's why because he owns both houses.
Right.
And the street has been vacated, the home sits fine and meets all the setbacks on lot 16. The garage is coming out. Either we're gonna relocate it or build a new garage in the backyard. So forget about the garage.
So then he's only has 60-some feet
for the existing
on that lot.
And that's why we're not including that in the subdivision because it doesn't make sense. All those homes to the north are on 62.78 foot wide lots. They're pre-existing.
It's all over the map. You're
grandfathered.
100% correct. And I don't know, some of those lots were built years and years ago. Zoning undoubtedly could change, all sorts of stuff change. I mean,
so this is like bonus real estate that both of these homes acquired when the vacation was done. And, the people behind it did the same thing. He put a fence in. Only one of them chose to put a garage in, and I don't know what year that garage was built, but they were able to do that because the street was vacant.
right. No, I get that.
So,
but I basically you're asking us to then accept one lot that only has about 63 feet of property.
But technically, I'm not including that in the subdivision, so you don't have to accept it.
But that's what it becomes, and it's in a R1 zoning, and R1, I mean, it would seem to me you'd almost have to apply for a variance or whatever on that lot. You can't just all of a sudden decide, oh, I'm going to change my lot size, and therefore, that's just me. I'll let other people speak.
I would agree. If we're looking to make this change, I would, say, great, yes, you wanna adjust things so we have an acre lot according to current subdivision ordinances. That means I think we gotta look at the whole thing as a whole, especially since it's one property owner. And say that 80 feet is what we're looking for in R1. So if we're now, historically, that vacated area has been a part, like Mr. Conquest said, of that lot. So I don't know why we're all of a sudden saying, no, that's not technically right. As a taxing unit, it is right. That's not
But
been done.
they bought it as two parcels. They own it as two parcels. It's just combined on the GIS for tax purposes. They were bought at different times. The home was built first, then they acquired, maybe for free, the right of way that was vacated. It's not one lot. It's a lot and part of a vacated street. And that's what the legal description says. He even has a survey, I think, of the one house. It's just a house on the lot. There's no, the alley wasn't vacated yet.
I would struggle with our current ordinances
That's not
to do
how,
3 lots. It would be, I mean, you need 240 feet to do 3 lots.
But again,
in R1, that would,
we're not including the home, the existing home, because it meets the requirements of grandfather. Lot 16, there's a home on that lot, just like lot 15 and lot 14 to the north, those homes exist. On narrower lots, there's a lot of homes that fit at those dimensions on Main Street. So we're doing a 2-lot subdivision, not a 3-lot subdivision. Both of these lots meet your R1 standards. And lots 14, 15, and 16 to the north, they're pre-existing, and I consider those grandfathered.
and I don't have the height.
Okay.
So, we may have to agree to disagree.
Okay, anybody else?
I've got a couple questions, I think one for the petitioner and maybe one for staff. But you had mentioned that the garage, you're like, forget about the garage. Garage is going away. It's gonna be rebuilt in the back.
Possible. It's either gonna
How do
come
we
down,
access that?
there's room, they'll have 10 foot of side yard, which is required. The existing home on lot 16, which we're not including in the subdivision, is about 10 and a half or 11 feet from the property line. And per ordinance, you need 10 feet to access your rear yard if you decide to put up a garage. So there's room to put in a single lane driveway and either relocate the existing garage or possibly build a new garage in the rear of lot 16. But obviously the garage needs to go away to make this subdivision work. Whether he decides to build a new garage or not, that's up to him, but he has room to do so. You need to have the 5 feet minimum on one side and 10 on the other per ordinance. And the existing home on lot 16 fits that requirement.
That's where I'm gonna defer to staff. Can you have a driveway that runs right on your property line?
So our ordinance is pretty vague on it. I believe you can. But at the same time, we do have setbacks and it's not incredibly in detail. So from my understanding, you can have a driveway up to your.
We do it even in new subdivisions, quite honestly. We do a lot of site plans at DVG. We see it, I see it regularly when people have side-load garages and they have an 80-foot lot. We're always inches to a foot off the property line. It is a lot.
What's that?
I have another exhibit if you want to see it. Might clear it up a little bit for you. Wasn't sure we're gonna get into the detail. The first page is what's there now with the garage and the house and all the paving, and the second page is
Well, they will be.
how you make the garage.
But they're gonna take
Access.
To make this 7780.
I'm gonna jump back in if I can. My other big concern, and this might be my biggest concern, is the letter from NIPSCO indicates very thoroughly, this shall not be construed as a final authorization or binding to complete requested conversion. So we don't have a guarantee that that easement is gonna be dealt with in the way that you would hope. It may be.
Right.
At this point, we don't know that it's going to.
We're just here for preliminary plat approval. We're not here for final plat approval. We believe we'll need that letter, obviously, before we go into it. We just wanted to get this part out of the way, make sure everybody's on the same page. And we are working diligently with NIPSCO.
I mean, nothing's come in the last 24 hours.
No, and the phone calls we've had with them are positive. They understand if we're willing to relocate the wire at our expense, at the owner's expense, they thought it was a reasonable request.
Well, I guess my other question I said I had for staff. With the vacated Schulian court and the things going on, is this in line with our ordinance that we can even do this or not?
With the vacated Schulen court, to the best of my knowledge, it's in line, but as for the NIPSCO easement, I believe that's still.
Right.
But it's some state that's still has to be done.
You know, we can make that subject to that next week. Obviously, they'd have to have it resolved before the second.
All right, Mr. O'Haley. Are
Well,
you done, Laura? I'm sorry.
I am.
Or
Sorry,
Chad?
yeah, I
I'm sorry.
jumped in.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, the letter, it does say it expresses intent. Well, like my grandma says, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but they can always change their mind as well. To grant a partial release and conditional approval for the proposed conversion of an existing overhead to an underground.
In a different location.
Where they're not going, they don't say that though. They
No,
say,
they've seen the exhibit where the new easement is gonna be.
yeah. Well, it's also contingent upon full review, authorization and everything else. NIPSCO, that's the one problem I have with it, that NIPSCO could change their mind and here we are, you're stuck and we've approved something, but we can make it subject to removal of that NIPSCO. Did you mention that there's a sewer easement in Julian Street?
There's no easement, but there's a sewer.
There is a physical sewer.
Yes, and it's there, I'm sure, because it was a right of way at one time. So the city vacated it without realizing, I think, that the sewer was in there.
But
And they
that-
gave up the right, so they vacated it.
But the physical sewer is there.
Yes, we're gonna relocate that too.
Is
So
it
we're aware
operate-
of
is
it.
it-
We're gonna move it into the new easement that we're proposing.
Because it's been there by, long enough.
It's actually clay tile, it's old. Well, I'm sorry, the sewer on Main Street that it's connected to is clay tile. So it's a very old sewer, the sewer runs up the backyards and then for some reason, they cut over down Julian. And we know there's an expense of relocating it, he's going to incur that expense, and it'll kind of clean things up, because now it'll be in a dedicated easement. Right now, literally, they gave up the right when they vacated the street.
I don't think that's the case. But anyway, if this is a primary plat, do you have the certificates, the dedication and all the certificates attached to this?
We put those on the final plat, so no, we don't have on the final plat. This is not, we're not here for final plat.
I would like to see the certificates on primary, dedication and all the certificates.
We can certainly put them on there. With most communities, we don't do that. We only put them on final.
It's a requirement. Yeah, because I check them all the time.
Then we'll-
I don't got anything to check.
Right.
I might as well go home.
Well, that's because they're not.
Well, that's not gonna work. I just think there's just so many issues with this and trying to play fast and loose with lot 16. When we know the intent, we can certainly clean all this up and make it, I don't like the segregation of lot 16 out on its own. I'm just not really supportive of this anyway. And I'm not gonna approve anything without certificates.
Easy thing to add.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Joe?
Where's the new proposed easement?
It's along the south 12 feet of the new lot 2. So the sewer will be in there as well as the.
Must be in there. 12 feet PUE. Hereby
Yes.
granted.
Yeah.
Public utility, okay.
I don't have to include this.
Yeah, that's
They
one of
can
the things
come
that
in.
sticks with me is the fact that it's not, NIPSCO is not authorizing and I know, and it'll probably go, but they're making a point that it's not construed as final authorization as.
We know we can't get final plat approval without NIPSCO. We're well aware of that.
Just kind of putting the cart before the horse here and. I don't want to hold a guy up to work with his property, but so. Suggestion.
I think this is another one where we're just not ready yet. I think if all the stars align, maybe this might work, but I don't think we're there yet. Sorry.
It's all right. Anything else, Joe?
No.
Rich?
Well, I mean, got a little bit of hair on it. Obviously, we're trying to keep up with our current ordinances and not with what was done in the past. And that's kind of the big question mark. I like the fact that, you know, the sewer line is going to be updated. That'll be a good thing as well. You know, either we're in favor or we're not, based on whether we're going current ordinance or not. So that's a good question mark.
Can I jump in again?
Sure.
That sewer that is supposedly vacated, that was a storm sewer for that supposed street or sanitary? Sanitary.
Yeah, the sewer is there, it's functioning. It's just.
It is a functional sewer right now.
Well, I guess I'm gonna ruin the party, because I think they thoroughly read the ordinances, and I think technically they got us. You can't include 16, that's grandfathered in, they're not even including it, they just happen to own it. And I hate to say it, but they've read all the ordinances and they can get this to pass. I mean, NIPSCO's it's not gonna work if NIPSCO don't move the line, so it's a moot point.
Right.
And they're gonna move the sewer, they're incurring all the expenses, and they can put the garage in the back of 16, drive up to it. And I hate to say it, I don't hate to say it, I mean, I'm not, that's what they wanna do with their property, but I mean, the other way they could do it is just take the vacated part off and meets and bounds and sell it and just make it a 77-foot lot, probably come in for a variance, R1, so.
We talked about that, but we thought it was more appropriate to make.
I mean, I won 5-track championships and I was known for reading the rules word by word, and I think technically they got us. I hate to tell you.
Look, I want to say, you guys need to do your homework. If you look at GIS and go in and look at all the stuff, he owns that entire piece of property. No matter how he got it, whether it was given to him, it was, you know, we had a piece of property when the railroad left, half of it became ours, half of it went to Breyfogle. Okay, I understand all that, but that you put in that address, you put in that name, you're gonna get lot 16 with the additional 47 feet. He pays taxes on that. That raised his value. That did everything. Yes, when that house was built, it was only 63 feet or whatever, okay, 62 3/4 feet. I have no idea what ordinance was back in 55. Heck, my uncle's house down the street was in the 50s, you know, and that was even further north. I have no idea what ordinance was, but we're dealing with ordinance now. And we're then allowing someone to parcel off part of their property and turning their property into basically less than R2 zoning. It'd be an R3 zone. I don't think we can do that without some sort of variance or whatever. Am I wrong?
That's my understanding.
Council.
I'm not trying to argue, but let me ask you a question. They own both houses, the couple sitting here, and they're in different ownerships. So it's two different names.
Yeah, a brother or yeah.
Again, for what we're talking about here, it doesn't really matter. They could, right now, transfer is probably a better word, the southerly portion, well, let's call it the north portion of the vacated street, which is 47 feet wide. They could transfer it to the other party. No questions asked. I could recommend that they do that. It's quick and easy to do. The GIS would get updated. Lot 16 would be all by itself, lot 16, just like it was originally built. And then they'll own the rest of it as one parcel.
I question that you could do that.
Absolutely.
Well, I can tell you that I bought property at a tax sale. And it had a house and there was a big lot next to it that belonged to the town, and it was kind of a similar situation. It was in Cedar Lake. And when I bought it, I thought because the address read I was buying the whole thing on GIS. When I bought it, then the guy next to it that had bought the property or was in they took that lot off me because they said, well, we just used that for a tax billing address. We didn't actually, that is not in your description of the lot or the house. I ended up with the house, somebody else ended up with the lot. But they had it in the GIS that property was part of that house. And then when I bought it, all of a sudden it wasn't.
So you're telling me I could sell 40 feet of my backyard
You could.
to my neighbor?
Yes, you could.
And now my square footage is way less than R1. And I don't need to do anything else. If that's true, fellas, we're creating a mess.
I think the difference here, you're telling me he combined them for tax purposes.
I'm making that assumption because it's two parcels that show up as one on the GIS. We do this all the time, yeah.
If you combine them for purposes of tax purposes, let's assume that's a correct assumption, you can unhook them.
Yes.
Down the road. The county lets you do that. So if you combine them for purposes of tax, you can separate them down the road. If you have two separate parcels, you combine.
Even if you were outside of code.
I'm just talking about the mechanics of combining the two lots. If you combine, like, if that assumption is correct, if he combined the two lots, the owner can separate them at some point down in the future. Just because they were two separate parcels coming in.
I could request that it be two different tax bills. Most people do it so they get one tax bill.
They get one tax bill and they pay one water fee,
yeah,
stormwater fee, and they combine them all the time.
So it was originally, the home was originally built on the platted lot. The vacated right away came along later. They were fortunate enough to take advantage of it and build a garage on it. Again, we could transfer it. I have both parties on the participating in the subdivision plat because there's two owners right now. But as a technicality, we could transfer the alley to the south house, and then only one party would need to do the subdivision. I don't want to deceive anybody, but it's just how it works. I can write a legal description for the south, or the north 40 feet of your property, the south 20 feet of your property, and you can sell it to anybody you want to.
Yeah,
I may be left with a.
But then the
non-conforming
ordinances
lot.
wouldn't enter into it, or the city
Well,
ordinances
You may be
for,
left with a non-conforming lot, and that's a problem down the road. It is, but we're not doing that here.
So it's assuming, I don't know if you don't know if they're combined, if they were combined for tax purposes.
Well, we know the house was built before the street was vacated.
Yeah.
So they almost had it.
Well, but then he built on that property that he, you know, so
Possession.
he used it as an active part of his residence or not, well, maybe not the residence, but the garage and the same thing is then we're opening the door on.
Not many people combine lots. I mean, most people don't have two lots and then combine them into one. That's an unusual circumstance.
The other thing that's a little unusual here is the city allowed them to build the garage. I do a lot of these small projects in every town around here. A lot of places, they would make us re-subdivide it and combine.
Yeah, is that?
In
I was
one.
gonna guess.
But Crown Point doesn't typically require that. And again, I don't know when this garage was built. Had they done that, had they re-subdivided lot 16 and the north part of that street into a new lot, I'd agree with you 100%. But that wasn't done. And I can't explain why. And in Sherrville, if somebody wanted to build a garage, we would never get away with that. We would have to do a one lot subdivision. So I keep saying it's a technicality because it kind of is.
Just for the record, in Crown Point today, you would have to re-subdivide. We wouldn't allow it to go over.
So,
properties like that.
right, thank you, Josh, because I get them confused because I work in so many different towns.
Do permits go back that far, Josh? Do we know if that was a permitted garage?
I don't know.
Because people
offhand.
build things all the time that aren't permitted,
Right,
and then we
yeah,
find out they're not.
Well, and it's in an easement.
So there,
Go figure.
I
there
would
may
have
or
to
may
reach
not
out.
have been an okay from the city to do this.
I would have to get in contact with the building department and see how far back the records go for that.
Any guess how old the garage is?
We bought 900 South Main in 1986, and the Stanley Foods in the other house to the north, and that was already
The
there.
garage was there in 86.
Started in 86.
It's 40 years.
Josh, one question I would have is, have we talked to Public Works about relocating this sanitary and what this intent, like what this sanitary
We
is?
gave them a drawing of what we wanted. You talked to Mr. Bright? Yeah. Doug Bright is aware.
And they're okay with,
Doug Bright doesn't oversee sanitary.
Doug is our streets guy.
Yeah, no, he had met with, Jason Scott.
I'm sorry, yeah, Jason.
A couple of the guys from utilities. So I think they did find a way it could work. It just hasn't gone through a full review process
Right.
yet. So if you're gonna speak, I do need you to come up to the podium and state your name.
What he said was, we're gonna add 2 new manholes is all we're gonna do and physically intercept the one line, go west, put another new manhole in, and then connect to the existing line. So it's a common, to me, it's pretty routine.
I mean, I just wanna make sure that,
It's
you know,
probably $40,000 worth of work. I'm not disputing that it's an expense, but it can be done.
right, I just wanna make sure our utilities are aware and on board.
They will have to approve it as well.
Yeah, the original, when they first saw this a while back, they were under the impression they were looking to direct those utilities to the east, and they were very adamantly opposed to that. But then they did see a different plan set showing it going to the west, and that one they seemed far more comfortable with.
Okay. Anybody got anything else we want to discuss, or do we have a plan of action, or what do you think we ought to do, Mr. Irick?
Well, I think that's a board decision. I mean, you've heard what Fisher is requesting. There's obviously some concern by the board on a number of items, but board feels it wants to move forward. I believe the board should move forward.
Okay.
I just don't think this is ready yet. There's too many loose ends to tie up here.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion to defer petition, I'm sorry, I don't have the number in front of me.
2632.
2632, pending NIPSCO response, full information from our Public Works on their acceptance or rejection of the plan for relocation of the sewers. And information on the current garage structure that may have been a non-permitted use, just for informational purposes. I feel like we're sitting here, what if, and maybe, and we think, and kinda, and I understand when you buy existing property, you know, you inherit what you get what you get. But we also are responsible for making sure we go forward responsibly. So I'm sorry, that didn't always be part of the motion, but I would move to defer.
And attach the appropriate certificates to the
And
plan.
attach the appropriate certificates as are required at primary plan. By our plan.
Okay, we have a motion,
I'll second it.
we have a second. Do you have a list, Doug, of what needs to happen here?
I do.
Okay, you're comfortable with all those things? Okay. That being said, any further discussion? Seeing none, call the roll.
Dan Haley.
Yes.
Chad Jeffers.
Yes.
Laura, I'm sorry, Joe Sanders.
Yes.
Mike Conklin.
Yes.
Laura Sauerman.
Yes.
Rich Day. Yes. John Marshall.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Yep.
So we got. And we'll be here for this.
All right, next item of new business, 26-33, SLB Brothers Properties LLC petitioner owner requests his primary plat for Crownhurst Broadway, 2 lots at 9611 North Washington Street.
You would mind if I pass it around?
Sure, go ahead. That last one, gonna give us a pickle, right? If we deny it, they'll just sue us.
We should have the plat already.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, should like that lot there, full sales lot.
Good evening, James Husker with DVG team, here tonight on behalf of SLB Brothers Properties LLC. Tonight we are requesting to hold a primary plat public hearing for the purposes of further subdividing land, lot 1 in the Crownhurst Broadway subdivision, addressed currently as 9611 North Washington Street. This parcel as it sits today is 2.94 acres and sits at the northwest corner of Broadway and 96th Place. The intent of this re-subdivision plat is to segregate the parcel into 2 lots. Lot 1B will occupy 1.79 acres and house a combination fuel station and liquor store, which was approved by this plan commission on April 27th. Lot 1A, the western lot, will encompass the remaining 1.16 acres. And upon that segregation, will allow Lot 1A to be developed with a future use consistent with the underlying B3 zoning. Plat otherwise creates a few new easements or alterations to the original land. Those include the creation of a 20-foot drainage easement along the west and north property boundaries that are illustrated on the plat, which is the first page in your packets. And that 20-foot drainage easement will allow Lot 1A stormwater to transit to the Crownhurst Broadway subdivision detention pond, which exists directly north of Lot 1B.
Mr. President, I have a point of order. Why are we getting this new plat now?
That plat was provided approximately a week and a half ago, and the only alterations to the plat that was originally submitted to the city about 1 month ago was the alteration of these exhibits to illustrate them.
That's not what I got here.
Well, let's get through the presentation and then we'll.
Well, I don't think it's properly before the board.
Okay, let's hear the presentation and then
I think we should even hear the presentation.
Well, I think we should, and so that's what we're gonna do. So, go ahead, sir.
The only other easement is a private utility easement, again, along the north border of Lot 1B, which will allow Lot 1A to be served by sanitary sewer, which is in the Broadway right away. The only alterations to this primary plat since we originally submitted approximately 1 month ago, before the advertising deadline, was that we received city planning staff that they would prefer those easements to be designated as private because they don't serve any purpose to the city of Crown Point. We did add additional, while the city code does not describe language specific to private easements, only public. We did, upon advice of planning staff, take a stab at language that is similar to the city's detention easement language, which designates that while the city earns access to it, any reason the city would need to go in there is at no cost to them. Should this board or planning staff request or require alterations to that easement, we're happy to change it on final. But otherwise, we believe this plat to be in order to open up public. We did submit to planning staff for the advertisement deadline and have completed the required advertisements and provided proof of such to planning staff.
Okay, thank you. Josh?
Petitioner requesting primary plat approval for a 2-lot subdivision. Washington Street on the northwest corner of West 97th and Broadway. Properties that would be for business. The parcel is just to the north of St. Peter Paul Macedonia Cathedral and in the southeast corner of the Crown First subdivision. There's B3 business to the north, all Westlaw office service to the west and south, and the Maribel Ameriplex Crossroads Complex subdivision to the east. Current layout is one with a gas station that has received approval contingent on the site. The new layout would create an additional lot with site development to take place in a future meeting. Lot 1A would be 1.16 acres and Lot B would be 1.79 acres. Utilities Department is also requesting that the verbiage regarding the easements include the proximity of the following property owner. We can have all verbiage finalized before secondary. All notices have been properly sent out by certified mail and been published in the newspaper. There have been no calls of support or registration.
Okay, let's, first thing, since Mr. Rohaley has brought up a point of order, let's get that settled either way, whether it's good or bad. So you feel it's not acceptable, Mr. Rohaley, for what reason?
Because it was just handed to us 5 minutes ago.
Okay. And Josh, what do you have to say about that?
It was just handed to me at the exact same time, so I haven't even gotten a chance to look through it to see if there were any adjustments.
Okay, so there is adjustments? I mean,
I haven't had a chance to look at it. I just got it 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
I don't even have my microscope with me.
When was this plat turned into the city, sir?
The original plat was submitted at a time of the day before the advertising cut out. The only alterations between that copy and what you have that was just passed out were changes to designate those easements as private as requested by city staff approximately 2 weeks ago, and the inclusion of the language in the lower left for private utility easements and private drinking easements.
Okay, I'll give them a minute to figure out if that's what we're doing here.
So you're saying C-105 is the same as C-103?
No, the only reason that the next 2 pages are included in your packet was for the potential discussion of an item that was brought up to DVG on Thursday of last week, as it relates to 150.34 C6, which discusses that easements shall not be placed. They may be allowed to be placed under pavement, but not under parking. That's what that requirement says. I will be the first to admit that on this plat, we have a storm sewer under the central parking where the north-south run 20-foot private drainage easement runs. Now, whether that ordinance applies to private easements is open to your interpretation. The final page in your packet, in the center, we would be happy if that is a requirement that holds true for private drainage easements. We're happy to alter the utility plan for this development to relocate said storm sewer out of the parking lot and then alter the plat. Again, that was just brought up to our attention on Thursday. We've really, as long as I've been at DVG, we haven't platted a private drainage easement. There's no language in the code for it. We'd be happy to make that alteration if that is the opinion of the city that it needs to be done. In my opinion also, I think it doesn't affect the site's design. I don't expect Luke to agree with me right this second, but I'm very confident he will. If that alteration needs to be made on this plat, we're happy to make that a final. But I do think the intent of the plat is here, at least at the point of discussing this here.
Okay, who notified you of this change on Thursday?
Yeah.
Staff. All right. Was that what happened, Josh?
Yes, yeah, we do let them know. Now, we weren't requiring it at primary, this change. It could come in before secondary, so that way we have time to review it with legal.
Okay.
So I'm actually, can you tell me just offhand what line in here has been adjusted?
Line on the plat?
Yes. Or has nothing on the plat, because both plats have the exact same dates.
We'll apologize for that. 520. This was added. All right.
That's all we're. Yeah, so then I don't think anything changed between this and this one. Oh,
No,
this
it
is, okay, and that's what we were trying to figure out. Okay, thank you.
So can you put it in a summary form for us?
No, it actually, in looking over these, I don't actually see any changes from what was submitted just now to what we were given previously. As I stated, I know there's essentially utilities wants to work with planning and legal just to button up the verbiage on the private easements, just to make sure we're completely covered on that. Everyone was comfortable with primary. That was something that we just need to address before secondary.
So you're satisfied?
So yours, and Mr. Roy Haley, is that satisfactory explanation?
That's fine. We'll go.
Okay.
Wish we saw it earlier, but
Okay. Now we're ready to discuss the plat or got what we're doing. Yeah, so
I have a question.
go ahead, Mr. O'Haley.
We talked about no access easement all the way to the driveway and then all the way around so we can control the access onto West 96 Place. Now it's only a small portion there when you just get off of 53. It doesn't even make it to the driveway.
Dan, I'm gonna be frank with you. I'm gonna apologize for not adding it. Should have been on. If that's a contingent of any motion.
Well, that guy agreed to it.
He did, yeah.
Drainage, do we have approved written drainage for this project?
So this, yeah, this is a commercial lot, and lot 1B has already gone through its full site development. Yes. And then lot A will be coming in at site development in the future. I don't believe we've even received an application for that.
Okay.
For lot 1.
A.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And in vein of streetlights, where are the streetlights in here? 96 is very dark.
When have we ever made the petition to put streetlights on the street?
Where's he gonna put them?
I mean, I've never had a commercial subdivision that I can remember that ever we made them put street lights, the street for the lights for the street in front of their business.
Josh. Streetlights, are they required?
I don't believe they are required.
So we can just leave it a dark.
So there's a street light at the intersection of North Washington and 96.
I guess we need to, some understanding, even for a residential subdivision. What is the code for that? Just wherever you want to put them, or are they?
So with residential subdivisions, we're looking at the interior. I know you brought up the
Just
exterior of
just
them.
the interior
Yeah,
of the development.
Just the interior of the development.
So if it's between two streets, the only thing we care about is the interior of the development.
The only thing we're requiring.
That's all the ordinance requires then?
So we would have to make adjustments or amendments to the ordinance. Basically, very similar to the way we do with sidewalks and curb and other things like that, include streetlights into it. So that we'd also have to do perimeter or something.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so I got.
Okay, anybody else have any comments for this petitioner?
Sure.
Mr.
I think,
Joe, go ahead.
last time we talked about, Broadway being busy and 96 will now have more traffic coming in and out for this. And you were discussing within that?
Yes, we have submitted the same traffic study that we submitted for site for what is essentially after this plat going to become the development for 1B. I wish it got reply faster, and it's not in this project.
I figure, no, INDOT never does apply fast.
But it most certainly has been sent in.
And help me out too. I didn't bring it up, but are we, is 96 place as it exists, is that across the Amazon and the Ameriplex? Is that?
It is directly across.
So it's an intersection there, isn't it? Yeah.
Correct.
So you're working on within that, the traffic study and.
So in the interaction between those two streets is minimal. I can tell you there's maybe one car an hour. And if you looked at it over the course of a whole day, probably a half a car per hour that actually crosses Broadway.
Yeah.
Currently today. It's more just justifying their buy-in that it's okay to widen the road to get a left and right turn lane. That's really what we're asking for, because I'm exceedingly confident that they're going to agree that there's no reason to care about through traffic, given the absence, complete and total absence of it. So I'm actually surprised there's as few.
Yeah, you're right. There's just traffic in and out of Amazon, and then
there's
there'll be
actually not
traffic.
that many cars coming out per hour of Amazon. Obviously the trucks, but there's the quantity of them. is
Right.
Surprisingly low.
Yeah, I can see they're not crossing, but they're going in and out.
Anything else, Joe? Anybody else have any comments? Okay, well, this is a public hearing. So anybody in the audience would like to come forward and state your concern or question about this project, please do so at this time. Anybody on the internet? Okay, once, twice, three times, we're gonna close the public hearing. We're gonna bring it back to the board. Any further comments, questions, suggestions? Seeing none, the chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve petition PC 26-33 with the caveat that the no access easement be extended all the way to the entrance of the drive.
And around the drive and around the south line to the other drive as well. So we can control.
So you want to have it all the way to Washington?
Yeah, and then up Washington, up to that driveway that they have going to Washington.
No access except for the two drive aisles.
That was agreed upon at the last meeting, so.
Yeah.
It's done. Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion for approval. We have a second.
Second.
All right, motion and a second for approval. Any further discussion? Seeing none, call a roll.
Andrew Hayward.
Abstain.
Chad Jeffries.
Yes.
Joe Sanders.
Yes.
Mike Conquest.
Yes.
Laura Sauerland.
Yes.
Rich Day.
Yes.
John Marshall.
Yes, been approved, 6 and an abstention. Next item of new business, 26-34. 5M Crown Point LLC petition owner requests primary plat for the standard in Crown Point Phase 1 lot, 106 US 231.
James Huss here again with DVG team here now on behalf of 5M Crown Point LLC. Tim McKenna, the petitioner owner of the property, is with me here tonight. Just so maybe I won't do it for next time I'm before you, but I can say that the plat that I just passed out has no alteration from what was earlier submitted.
So this is different.
Has no alterations.
It has none from.
It is not different than.
Okay.
The property we're speaking about tonight, again, since workshop last month is 106 East State Road 8, aka US 231. We were before you for workshop to bring to your attention and discuss what I believe was a very productive workshop. We talked about much of the additional INDOT coordination that had occurred over the last year. A lot of site plan changes that essentially pushed the development a little bit back further in US 231, and recap that revised development, all the INDOT coordination, the site plan changes had been submitted to city and received their full engineering approval short of paying the development fees, which means that at this point, our next two steps are primary plat approval and then site final development approval before my client can start bidding and constructing this project. So what we have before you, and like I was told, primary plat hearing is the plat before you. At the end of the day, the plat is quite simple. It accomplishes four core points. The first, it properly subdivides what is previously unsubdivided land. The lot as it exists today is still a lot as it exists tomorrow, just by different name. Establishes the parcel's detention easement in the rear of the lot, establishes an on-property sidewalk easement to lessen encumbrances on the existing right-of-way, and it identifies an access easement to the adjacent western parcel which the petitioner owns, and it establishes an ingress-egress easement across the entire parcel positioned on the development's drive aisle, which should not be construed based on a workshop from a month ago as an access road, given the extremely low likelihood that the property to the east will ever develop commercial. I won't belabor that at any further unless there's any other questions, but I think we covered pretty well at workshop. The necessary advertisements for this plat have been placed and proofs have been provided to city planning staff. So with that, prior to hopefully opening the hearing and answering any questions you have, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Josh.
Petitioner is requesting primary plat approval for a one lot subdivision located at 106 East US 231 on the north side of 231 between Broadway and Delaware. Property is owned B2 business. The parcel is just to the east of CBS on the northeast corner of Broadway and 231. Property is served by B2 business west, OS1 office service, B3 business, and R1 residential to the south, R1 residential, and I1 industrial to the north. Project was before the planning commission regarding access and parking as well as use. City's perspective was to lead to determination of the feedback, which is now provided petitioner with approval for the proposed layout. The commercial building for the site is currently going through the city site development review process. All notices of the property certified mail, newspaper, and there have been no calls of support or administration.
All right, thank you, Josh. Bring it to the board for any questions or comments.
I just have one. Is drainage approved, please?
This is a commercial lot, so drainage for this will come in.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Chad?
No, I mean, I think when we saw it last month, the building looked great. We had all that. It looks like everything has stayed the same. 231 isn't our road, so if they give approval to it, then
Okay, well, I think he's got a commercial drive already, so I don't know how they would deny access. So. Anybody else with any questions or comments?
Just out of curiosity, that concrete roadway is still in the back there? Is that,
In the back of the existing lot.
yeah,
I believe technically it is still there, but obviously will be removed. There will be on there.
I was just curious. I think, you know, the road to nowhere.
All right, well, this is a public hearing, so we'll open it up at this time for any questions or comments about this petition. If you'd like to do so, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Anybody on the internet? Once, twice, 3 times, let's bring it back to the board. Any additional discussion? Not the chair will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve PC 26-34.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, call the roll.
Andrew Haley.
Abstain.
Chad Jeffries.
yes.
Joe Sanders.
Yes.
Mike Conquest.
Yes.
Laura Sauerman.
Yes.
Rich Deck.
Yes.
John Marshall.
Yes. So 6 and abstention, it has passed.
Thank you.
All right, next item of business is miscellaneous. Miscellaneous business. Anybody have any miscellaneous business? I do, so. You have anything, Josh?
Yes, sir.
All right, anybody else on the board?
I do. I know we want to get out early. I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
On 109th, on the east side of I-65, a lot of earth movement, a lot of dirt being moved, I believe there was demolition. I can't recall anything in front of us. Well, do we know, does anyone know what's going on there?
Well, I do a little bit. It's actually, the state is considering buying it, so they were doing some pre-building work there, and now it's all stopped because the state of Indiana is in consideration to buy the property.
So
did they ever get a permit?
To
move dirt?
move dirt.
No, you cannot move dirt.
They're not building anything.
For the 90th time.
Did they demolish anything?
151.03A, no person proposing a subdivision shall proceed with any grading or improvements for streets or the installations of any public utilities until the primary plat of the proposed subdivision has been approved by the Planning Commission.
Well, how do you know they're building a subdivision? Maybe they're just.
They're just
using
moving
their
dirt.
Well, you can move dirt on your property. You want to put a garden in, you don't get a permit to put a load of dirt in your backyard.
How did they tear down those structures there?
Probably with an excavator.
No, they got no permit for the demolition either.
Do we have
As
a-
of 11:30 this morning, I called.
Do they have is there a demolition permit, Crown Point?
We do require a demolition permit.
All right, well, that brings up my miscellaneous business. I think, we have,
Building permit, written permission issued by the proper municipal authority for the construction, repair, alteration, addition to, or demolition of a structure.
okay. Well, I'm not gonna go, if that's it, that's it. So the planning commission has a budget, right?
Yes.
Okay, I think we have 3 city council members on this board, and we continually talk about no enforcement of anything the planning commission does. Obviously, the building department's not helping us at all. You talk to them, they kind of do nothing. Sherry Laney, I don't know. I haven't seen Sherry Laney in a year. I don't know what she's doing. But I think as with 3 council members on the board, I think we need to propose having a zoning enforcer for the planning commission that reports directly to us.
We have ordinance enforcement though.
Well, who is it?
Wasn't it Chair?
But we have code enforcement.
Who is it?
Code enforcement.
Who
right?
is it?
Sherry Laney and.
So Sherry
Another guy.
Laney reads all these things from the planning commission and makes sure that they have a demolition permit.
Well,
Is
she's
that her
the code
job?
enforcement
Well,
officer.
okay, great. Is she doing anything?
So what are you asking about?
I think
the
we should,
council?
I think we should have a zoning enforcement officer.
Sounds like we have it. We just need it to be
Who is it?
enforced.
Sherry's
Who is
just
it? Code
general
enforcement.
enforcement, isn't she? Yeah, Sherry's just code enforcement, just any general,
I'm-
you know?
Yeah,
I'm
but
I'm
I mean,
talking about
that
somebody
falls
that
under
just-
this
I'm
purview.
talking- I'm talking about somebody that just works for this board.
Or works for
that-
plan commission, like plan commission enforcement?
Yeah, plan commission enforcement. So that if we say like last month in BZA, for the BZA, they work for the BZA too. So like last month, we had that two-story garage, one put plumbing in it, and we said no. So if we approved it, it didn't get approved. This zoning guy would make sure there's no plumbing in it, because right now we don't have any enforcement to make sure that happens. We don't have any enforcement, like Mr. O'Haley said, to make sure they build it with the right materials. Obviously, what happened out there at the canvas is because we didn't have a zoning guy. You know,
Well, would that go into, then we'd have
Yeah,
to
it's
look
a
at the
good
ordinances
point,
too
John.
about the plan commission and what,
You know,
that sounds like a whole new.
Well, it would be, from my understanding, just going over my budget this year, that would be an entirely new position. we would have to create.
well, let's
So that's
create
why
it.
it has to be thought
I mean, we talk about it nonstop. Every meeting it comes up that we don't enforce nothing. And he's right. Mr. O'Haley's right. We don't enforce nothing.
But I'm saying, wouldn't it have to
We
be,
enforce some stuff. We don't enforce all.
but wouldn't that have to be,
Pretty broad.
would we need a new ordinance for that, that approves a,
Well, we have a budget.
ordinance enforcement officer for the, specifically for the planning
Then we'd have to
commission?
go into the budget, we'd have to create the positions, this is a whole internal conversation. that
Well,
we
so
need to be
what?
having with-
That's what we do.
with-
That's why we're here. And
You know, but with the mayor and staff and all of them.
let's do it. Let's initiate it. It's
John,
not
come
a-
to the next
it's not
council
the-
meeting at the public,
Yeah, no problem.
yeah.
But I think we
Propose it.
should, we have a budget that I don't even know what it is. So I don't even know what the budget is. I mean, I don't know who works for who. Do you work for the plan commission? Josh?
No, I'm more of an advisor.
Okay, so we don't even know who works for us. How do we enforce anything when we make a motion and say, you gotta do this, or you gotta build this, or you gotta, who's building, the building guy ain't doing nothing for us. He ain't doing nothing. Not for us.
A lot of what we catch is because one of us notices it, one of staff notices it.
Well, what's the
"Wait a
big-
minute, this doesn't look compliant." So I agree that a consistent
We
enforcer of the rules would be great.
I mean, we pay for everything else in this town. I mean, we got, I bet we got 10 guys at the street department right now that could use something to do tomorrow. I mean, let's be honest here, you know?
Well, it sounds like an administration.
It is
To
an
get
administration. It's gonna be
the
somebody that
personnel
has to
and-
work with Josh and know the ordinance.
No, I don't mean a new position. I mean, the positions that we have need to be,
Well, it's a reallocation now.
Job description change.
We need a guy that can sit right there and we say to whoever it is, you know, we want you to go out and check this. We made conditions tonight on a petition and we want you to make sure that they get followed. And he comes here and reports to us, and if we got somebody out of line, we nip it in the bud.
Well, in defense of Josh, I call
I'm
him
not saying
many
Josh is
times.
a
He
problem.
you just said that they don't do anything in enforcement.
Building.
And that was a
building-
broad
he wasn't,
brush.
he wasn't pointing at you.
I'm not pointing at Josh. I say Josh
Just so the
needs
record
help.
is clear.
I think Josh needs help. So, I don't know. I mean, like I said, we budget all kinds of crap in this town. I mean, how much would it be?
You'd be really good at that.
I think it's a great idea, John, and
I do think it'd be best to have that as an internal discussion to look to see what our
What?
resources are, and if somebody wants to step up and be in
Did
that
you?
role,
Is this it?
because maybe there is some fat in the budget already, and we need to have somebody that really steps it up. So,
Well, I have a suggestion for the person that we should nominate, but, you know, we have to get him a budget and a car and probably a gun and a badge, because, you know, he's gonna be hard to deal with in the public.
You
But,
can't give me it. though.
You
All right.
didn't know the day.
but I
win
I
them
was
all.
thinking about it. Me and Mr. O'Haley's had this no,
But a taser.
no enforcement discussion for years. So why don't we enforce it? What are we doing? What the hell? Like I said,
It's just frustrating for us to spend all this time and toil and everything, and just to lead into frustration when the ordinances just are not followed. And that's
let's
my,
solve it.
that's my frustration.
That's our job. We're supposed to be working for the public, so let's solve it. Let's find somebody that can, even a part-time deal, have them work a couple days a week, give them an agenda. This is what we want you to check. Josh should be the boss, or Ben. We'll send them out. When you got somebody that calls in and says, hey, this guy built a fence in the wrong place, send him out there, give him a tape measure. If it's in the wrong place.
But what is code
What's the-
ordinance?
What?
What is code enforcement?
I ain't figured out what you've been doing for
I
30
mean,
years.
it sounds like we already have that position. We just need.
Well, let's get them to do something. So-
I'm with you. I mean, all this time we say contingent on this, contingent on that.
Yeah, but we're not doing. We're
Who
not.
follows
doing
up
it.
with that, right?
We're not doing it. We're not doing it. So what is our budget for plan commission?
Joe, I think we really need somebody that's more in line with building code and all of that.
Right there. There's the guy right there. He'll look up everything. He'll have, right there's our guy, right there. Hire him 2 days a week, give him a car.
No
and-
gun.
And let him loose.
Taser.
We got
Just a
all kinds of
taser.
extra
Just keep
cars
the
at
bullet.
give
Low
him a
voltage
pickup truck
taser.
from
They call it
Golden Barn.
in your pocket.
They already got the car,
Well, another thing is, and you guys, I don't like coming to these meetings and being the little bitch boy, and that's.
I don't think you are. You're doing your job. That's why we.
We're still on the
appointed you.
record,
You're
Mike.
not being a
We're
bitch
still
boy.
Well, and
You're not, you're doing what you got appointed to do. You talk a little long sometimes, I'll be honest with you.
A caveat.
But, look, it's a little, it could be a little, you could shorten it up a little bit, but.
Hey, you want to adjourn and carry on?
with this whole thing on South Main Street, if you look at that end of town, it's all A1, no, R1. And you're gonna see 100-foot lots, you're gonna see 53-foot lots. Now, a lot of those houses, when that house was built, I remember, because we lived on North Court Street, see, I get lippy.
Well, wait, can we do this after adjournment?
And I know that they were built.
Well, we still
down.
got 18, we still got, let's see, 23 minutes for Chad before he just bolts out the door. He said 9:30, he's leaving.
He's
9:30 is it.
And then-
But I,
When you look at the master plan, and it says future use, a lot of and it even suggests go through zoning and rezone to realign with, future use. Every damn one of us, except for Joe, were part of that 2018, 2017, 18. You may have come in at the last. part, I
21.
can't Remember? I was wrong here. Okay, and.
21.
We spent a lot of time and effort in that,
And money.
and
well, we got an example on 113th right now. It's running an illegal business. And we don't do nothing about it. We all know who it is. I'm not gonna say it with the mic on, but we all know who it is. So let's send the zoning guy out there to, obviously nothing's happening here.
I agree.
We need somebody that reports to this board, to Josh and the BZA and this board. So that we can send this guy out tomorrow and say, these are issues that we want you to go look at it and tell us what make a report, tell us what's going on. Then we come back here and we, as a group, decide how we're gonna absolve it. So, we don't have no structure right now whatsoever.
I'm more than happy to have those conversations with the mayor's office.
Well, just tell him we're hiring somebody and get out his check. So tell me what I have to do as chairman or whatever to proceed. Like I said, I got 3 council members on this board, so we only got to convince one more and we got it. That's all we got to do. So we need
I don't
4
think
votes.
that won't be an issue.
The
But-
mayor's got to be making that call, that's administrative, and then when it comes to us, we can provide the money for.
Okay, well then we're gonna go talk to the mayor. I'll do it immediately. But I think that we need somebody that can enforce what we're doing here.
He's probably listening right now, so
Well, that's fine.
he
Not a
usually
problem.
does tune into these, so. He's
So
still
to
up.
your point,
Go to
Mary
the
lives basically behind me in kitty corner.
Mm-hmm.
I could go talk to her, but I don't think that's her bailiwick.
Okay.
Just-
All right.
maybe
Well, I
it
don't
is.
know if that's your conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I have no hope in Sherry Laney, so I think it's a waste of time. So, be perfectly honest
Mr.
with you.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right.
Second, third.
Adjourn.